Oh, you need. You just need to get some too.
Y'all know we live, right?
Dang,
What you
don't
trying to
cover
get?
up now.
Trying
Come back.
Oh
Come
God!
back to me.
You're gonna have to live in that. Wop,
I
wop,
told
wop,
you we were
wop,
about to
wop.
go live, and you kept talking.
Hey, listen, you can
Nah,
edit this
Where's
out. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. You
Well, we
good.
can't see it.
Nobody can see
Gonna
it.
edit it out live. Come on now.
Nobody heard
Yeah,
that.
you can edit it out live. It never happened.
I never seen them edit nothing out. Since
Never.
ever.
All right, y'all. Happy Friday. It's my birthday weekend. It's my birthday weekend. Woo, woo. It's my birthday. My actual birthday is May the 14th. So your girl is older.
Why you ain't say the number?
46.
Damn, you old. Oh shit.
Yep. I'm older. You know,
I love you, Shan. I'm sorry.
I don't mind being older. I like, the age I
Just for
am.
that, go ahead and send her something for her birthday.
Yep.
That cash
Maybe I should send 150.
No, I ain't gonna even say what I was gonna say.
Woo! Hey, why you at it? Send 300.
Your
You know
girl
what I'm
is
saying?
46, honey.
Look good for 46.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah, she do now. She do. She hey.
Aging like fine wine, right?
That's right. Right on.
The red
I
kind.
got you.
Fine wine, the red kind.
If you got abducted, mistaken by that alien spaceship, what would you have been thinking or done?
So you guys, let's just let them know.
Passed
So,
out.
so a Mistaken, I wish we can upload it. Mistaken walked outside and saw something a little strange in the sky. She did video it. So we do have evidence that there was something a little
I
strange.
posted it.
So if you
On my
follow
IG.
Mistaken, you'll see a strange entity fly over her home. And it disappears.
Would you have a baby with an alien if it was like guaranteed that it was gonna be a super baby?
What?
There's people out here having babies with aliens every day. Some of these niggas is aliens. I'm telling you, they're not from here. They're not. Something ain't right. So, but yeah.
What if the Neuralink that Elon Musk got was able to give you like some alien superpowers? Would you take it?
No. You know they're trying to put that chip in people's brain now.
That's what I'm talking about. The Neuralink.
No. Why would we want to do that? That's dumb.
What if it gave you the power to like read minds?
I'm good. I don't need to know what y'all thinking. I already hear what half of y'all thinking the way y'all think on this show. I don't need to walk around.
No, sometimes it's not to know.
I'd rather not know.
Hey, but it can give you the easy edge. You know what I'm saying? You can be like, oh, okay. Especially in business, you could be like, oh, this is what's happening. I got you. And then you could just intercept the
Right.
plan. See, y'all got to think big picture.
Big picture. You know how much money you could earn without doing much or nothing by being able to read minds? You can come in for 1 minute, have your whole day. Did he do it? Yes or no? Nope. Let him go.
I'm good.
That'd be
If
tough.
I could read that lotto, then maybe that'd be something different.
Damn, I forgot to play.
If I get a superpower, I'm taking it. I don't care.
You gonna put a chip in your so if that was available to you to put that chip in your head, you gonna do that?
Yep. If I get a superpower, right?
What, Marcus? You already have a superpower.
Yeah, but I would like to be Superman. I don't need just one.
Why would y'all want to do that? That's so weird to me. That's odd. Why would you want to be a mechanic? And then and those are chips. Look at Tesla. Look how that shit just froze up when it snowed outside.
I wouldn't be the first.
That shit gonna be like out of system. It's gonna freeze in the middle of the fucking
I would be the first one to take it, but I definitely after like waiting to see how this should go, and if it seems safe, I'll definitely take it.
Listen, I feel like you should not have surgery to implant anything in your body that you don't need in your body. That is just stupid to me, especially something that's probably ran off of radiation.
Are you against breast implants?
That's not radiation.
No, I'm just saying. You said anything that
I said
you don't need
especially
in your body.
of radiation. Shit,
I think the early BBLs had some radiation or
They
something.
get them tatas so they can still be like, hey, that makes me like my 50th birthday. Because I would like to be braless. I'm not gonna lie, but I would never get my butt done. That thing is already big, yeah. It don't need no help being bigger. I had a
No comment.
This is the problem with BBLs to me. This is my problem with BBLs. I'm gonna stop talking. I hate when people mimic BBLs because you don't know what comes with having a butt, right? I've had a butt through the 80s, the 90s. I had a butt when it wasn't really that popular. Only men who appreciated butts was black men, right? Now it's just appreciated by so many people. And I remember everybody walking around. Let me just tell y'all, this is really from an experience. In the 80s, everybody had flat butts. Flat butts were in. I used to be so ashamed of my butt. I used to try to stick it in as a little kid, so you can't, and it just wasn't working.
I was born in the 80s. I don't remember that. I don't remember that
You
time.
remember people having flat butts?
No,
That
Sir
was in.
Mix-a-Lot. Hey, look,
Yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot song actually changed perceptions, bro.
Yeah. But
What year was that?
So
Oh
Marcus.
shit!
So
What
the
year
difference
was that?
between you and me is I was born around others. I wasn't. In our community there were butts, but because I went to white schools,
Oh yeah.
I
I
was
don't know
surrounded
about that.
around people who just didn't have butts. That was what was popular. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so
I don't.
I used to
I
want
know
to.
when we first moved down here, we were like, what the hell? Like everywhere we turned, it was just huge. Even the little kids, like the little kids. Me and my husband was just like, this is crazy. It's something in the food. It's something here that they eat because y'all must be out of control.
To our bodies,
1992, Marcus.
In
our
the,
bodies.
in the South, yeah.
It's that cornbread, baby. When you eat like that every day, we used to eat like people say Sunday dinner, but we used to eat like that every single day. Like you had a meal on the stove every day, and it was like a full course with several meats kind of thing. It was just that's what they did in Alabama. They still do it in Alabama.
Oh, that the diabetes diet.
No, most people didn't have diabetes, and because you could, like, we had our food farm, right? Like, you went to the backyard, you had a farm back there. You had your great granddad. My great granddaddy lived behind me. He had a full out. All his veggies was in that garden.
Viz, knock it off, bro. You know, in the 90s, they would come
They
on.
was popping. That's that Pamela Anderson Baywatch.
Yeah,
no
big
butt,
On TV.
breast.
the big
Right.
chest and the booty.
Yeah,
Hey, titties be
I was
clutch though, for
opposite.
sure.
because I used to be so embarrassed. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I used to be embarrassed by it. It wasn't until I went to a black school, which was middle school, that I started to be. I was like, okay, I'm cool with my skin because black people do appreciate it more. But when I was at the white school, and then even went to high school, and I was the only black cheerleader, and your uniform fit a little bit different than everybody else's. Yeah.
Shit. I remember the 90s. I was on that. I definitely was on that at the 90s.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry, y'all. That's not the topic. The topic is, where are all the good girls? Where are they?
Married.
In the house,
Or prefer to
minding their own business,
in church.
in church. Some of them.
Not the church that Marcus went to, though.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna let you get that one off. Like,
They
all
out
right.
here wearing turtlenecks. Just they got these clothes on that you may not understand. Baby, in the library, people still go to the library. These are
I want a disclaimer real quick before we really get into this topic. To every gentleman in the chat, y'all gonna hate me tonight. I've been doing a lot of observing as I've been traveling,
Mm-hmm.
and what I will say is, we men, we be on some bullshit.
Oh, so you see what the ladies are talking about.
I see a lot of it.
Okay.
Now, what I will say is, you women go. Y'all, y'all are promiscuous as shit now. Don't get it wrong.
I, I don't take that away. You're right.
Stick to one topic at a time. Let's finish the men, then we could go.
But no, I've been seeing quite a bit. I've been more or less taking notes over the last 3 weeks. We be on some bullshit, and women be pretty actually straightforward with what they're looking for. And as soon as you are able to, let's say, tickle their mind, and we notice as men, we can get whatever the hell we want out of them, and we be on our bullshit. So I see all these people on these panels complaining about women and all of this. Nah, y'all, we be fucking up. We
What
be fucking up. So
what's
y'all,
fine?
so disclaimer is, you gentlemen are probably not gonna like most of my opinion tonight.
I'll probably agree. The only person that won was probably HD.
Y'all gonna like me tonight. I'm feeling nice.
Lord Jesus, until that string cut off. But nah, listen, I can sit up here and understand women's gripes. Yes. I can also understand the men's gripes. But I also understand, like, listen, man, with great power comes great responsibility. We understand the power of the vagina. You gotta be careful with it. You gotta be understanding. Listen, the whole world will flock to it. You know what I'm saying? So if you know the power of what you gotta protect it. You gotta make sure that you don't give it out to those thieving dudes that just are gonna take it and not give you nothing in return. That's all I'm saying.
Oh
That's
man,
it.
So
I,
go ahead, because this kind of goes into our topic. Go ahead, AP.
see, I understand what you're saying, HD. But I'm gonna tell you, I was in the Cambria Hotel in Washington D.C., just minding my own business, sitting at the bar, sipping, chilling.
But was you
This
really
lady,
minding your own business if you was observing?
okay, maybe not.
HD, I love you. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting there sipping on some Remy, just chilling, sitting at the bar. This lady comes in, sits down. We just start talking, normal talk. Hey, you traveling? Hey, why you here? You here for the game, etc., etc. She's like, hey, and this is after a few drinks. Hey, you want to go back to my room? So just like you said, there is power in the poom poom, but we have to be disciplined and smart and understand that you just gotta say no. Unless you want to be on your bullshit. When you said great power comes great responsibility, it is our responsibility to just sometimes say no, especially when that ain't what you're looking for and you know what kind of time she is on. She was actually looking for a man. I know because I had a conversation with her. It was a very good conversation. And I'm wearing my ring. She said she don't give a damn. What she can offer, my wife can't offer. What? You got to walk away as a man. They out here, y'all. They out here. Had I been any other man, like the white man that was sitting on the other side of me, and she wasn't too fond of him, he tried the same thing. He tried to get his holler on. But she was only interested in a man that tickled her brain because he was willing to listen to her being from Philly and loving the Baltimore Ravens. As she got drunker and drunker, drunker and drunker. Responsibilities on us. Like you said, with great power comes great responsibility. And if we're going to say we're going to lead, we got to be able to lead in all aspects, sir. So I understand what you're saying. I just disagree a little.
How?
Wasn't just
How?
wasn't just say
How?
no a slogan in the 80s with Nancy Reagan? Y'all need to bring that back.
What slogan was that?
Just say no.
That was about drugs.
Well, the pom pom can
Y'all
be a
act like
drug.
the JJ is a drug, right? And
Uh,
penis is a drug, right?
no, it is a solution. The penis is a solution. It's not a drug.
So some of y'all act like it is.
Sometimes when you have one, you're gonna need a drug afterwards. Get the right.
Oh Lord, oh Lord. But no, I will. Y'all, I don't understand when I hear these dudes talk about that they can't get a chick. I ain't seeing it. And these chicks are more than willing to engage in conversation.
AP,
When I
you
was in
know what
Atlanta,
it
they
is?
go
It's
ahead.
not that they can't get a chick. It's they can't get the chick that they really want. I think that's what it is. I think a lot of these conversations sometimes when the men are saying women y'all need to be this and this, I think it has a lot to do with trying to be able to cast your net in a bigger pond. So if y'all are telling everybody or telling the women this is what y'all need to do in order to get, with men like me, right? Y'all are telling women to be something that would allow you more options. And so what I think is happening is not that they can't find a woman, it's the woman that's necessarily engaging with them the way that they want.
Hmm. I'm gonna let Shan get into her topic because I've just been watching a lot. Because what the security guy and I we sat outside, and we're keep in mind we're sitting outside of one of the busiest locations of Washington D.C. and we decided that we'll go back inside when a seven walks around. It took us an hour and a half to find the first seven. Most women are fives and sixes, just like we always talk about. That is, in fact, the average.
Mhm.
So quit the guys. Y'all got to quit looking for a damn unicorn when you want an eight or a nine to act like a five or a six. It's just simply not gonna happen. Be normal, just like you look, just like your wallet suggests, and find yourself a normal chick. And they out here, they will engage. They will engage in conversation with you. It's crazy to me that we ignore that 80% or that 60% that's in the middle. Like it's crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm derailing the conversation. I've just been doing a lot of people watching lately, and the shit is wild. And we men, we got some fucked up ways. Go ahead, go ahead, Shan. I'm sorry. I don't want to derail your show.
Women do as well. So tonight, I'm on team men and women. Well, I'm always that way. I think I try to be as truthful as possible always. People may not feel that way, but I am. I try. It's my truth. Anyhow, so we're gonna watch the first video, you guys, in a second, which I probably should have looked at before this very moment, but I did not. But I never do.
BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy.
Yo, that
Don't act like you don't know. Got the best BBL in history.
What is
I ain't
it?
heard it.
BB? I don't understand what BBL. 2 seconds. What does BBL dreaming say? What does that mean?
Drake got a slimming machine to get a BBL, like a ab reduction, and may have possibly gotten a surgery BBL and a nose job. So they making fun of his cosmetic surgery.
I think they're just making jokes about BBL part.
yeah, they're just joking him that
Hmm.
because he did get some work done, but
Hmm.
it just was really catchy to say BBL Drizzy, and then
Hmm.
Metro Boomin made a whole entire track about it when Drake told him, "Hey, just go make beats, shut up," and he came out with a banging beat that he said anybody can rap on it and use it, and whoever makes the best verse will get $10,000 plus you'll get a feature on something else.
Mm.
So the streets went crazy.
Yeah, some of them songs been cold. Some of them been super funny, but I just seen some people really sliding, like sliding. I'm like, damn, this man having one of the worst weeks in history.
Did y'all see when Drake dropped them shoes and they had put the comments under them shoes that he dropped?
No, what they say?
And they said,
Hey, what these A minors?
they said I minus only in kid sizes, only size 7. And then they called him I'm gonna pull it up. We'll do that in the middle after we talk about the first topic. Okay, here we go.
Crazy because guys will ask for the good girl, and then they'll get the good girl, and then they'll seduce the good girl, and then they'll just break her heart for no reason because they don't have the discipline to stay in that relationship, because they don't understand that being with the good girl is not the arguments, it's not the craziness, it's not the volatility, it's peace. And peace is boring. Peace is not waking up with a new argument. Peace is just knowing what you have and what's coming. And that to a lot of people is not very attractive. Being in a relationship where it's very peaceful is not something that people are really built for. People like the craziness. People like the volatility. At a certain point in life, you realize like this is not for me anymore. The craziness, the volatility, maybe you have to go through traumatic situation after traumatic situation to get to that point, or maybe you just learn from your family, or maybe you've just really socially conditioned yourself to understand that this is what's best for me. Whatever it is, at some point you come to a point of peace. But a lot of men that want the peaceful girl, the good girl, are coming from a place of trauma. And they just want that for the moment because they like the attention, the validation, the verification. They genuinely have not disciplined themselves to want that. And this is where the whole cycle gets messed up. Because when they break that girl's heart, she then becomes hurt. And then it becomes another person that's traumatized, that's in the cycle as well. And that negativity just creates more negativity.
What y'all think about that? Not everybody at once.
I think he's I think he's primarily wrong. And
Mhm.
what I mean by he's wrong is the reason why men are cheating in their relationships ain't because they're bored. So most men that cheat, they feel like they got the right to cheat because they're a man and that they're sexually attracted to multiple women, but they met this good woman who he already knows what the game is, that he's supposed to be monogamous, but
Mhm.
he's like, oh, that's kind of hard for me, but I'm gonna try it for you. And then he's just like, he just I guess falls into it. He's just like, oh, my bad, it's an accident and stuff like that. And I mean, granted, it's not an accident in my mind, but um, yeah, I think the reason why men are cheating is not because they're bored. And I think it's actually the opposite. I think more men would rather have peace and tranquility in his relationship. But, you know, when he's around women that don't offer that, and he's like, I found this woman like this woman like this woman like this. Some brothers, even though that's not what he wants, he will accept that this might be how women are, and he will adjust his expectations and deal with women he probably don't really want to deal with, but has found some redeeming qualities about her and say, you know what, I can make it work. And then when it don't work, everybody's jacked up in the game.
Sorry, I have a question. So do you think like when women um sometimes so what they say, oh, women don't like good men, right? Good guys. But it's not that you don't like good guys, you just want a certain guy to be good. Do you think that holds the same for true for men? So what they're doing is they're getting it confused. Men do want peace, it's just the woman they want doesn't really come with peace. And so it seems like they want chaos when in actuality they know they want peace just from a woman who looks like this, but usually those women don't bring peace. Maybe that's what it is.
I just think
Yes.
that it's just attraction and what you know to be good and good for you is two different things. You dudes like hoes. They might not want to be in relationship with hoes, but when they see a woman twerking, any guy, any respectable guy, he get either got one or two thoughts. He's like, "Oh my god, that looks good," or he might be like, oh, "This isn't good. Stop doing that, ma'am." But he's still looking because he's like, "Whew, that look good." So you got to understand with even some of the best men, like we like titties, we like butts, we like women. So to see women engaging in behaviors, right, that we're naturally attracted to, but can also be like, even though I'm attracted to this ain't good for you and it's not good for our community. A lot of us brothers have learned that even though we like these thick chicks and stuff like that, we can also still be like, as much as I like the way that you look, the way that you're acting and what you're doing, is it beneficial to you or the people that look like you or us? So we just make business decisions that we like it. That's why when he had the little what's that girl name? Kiki Palmer situation, and he was like, "Oh, well, he said he was cool with it." Yeah, he was cool with it at home. And then Usher show up, and Usher is touching the very thing that, he probably like and the other men probably like, and now it's a problem because that thing that you like is now accessible to other men and other people. That's the issue that a lot of men be having. It's not that they don't like thick chicks, they don't like bad women. It's just that bad women ain't good for your health.
Chan, I think you're right. I think it's just it coming a package that they don't like. Because if you put all the girls that's out here twerking in dresses where you knew they had it on them and they was pretty and they became peaceful, all these men, according to them, would be married. So I don't know. But I know what you're saying, HD, but I don't know. I just think the women that actually be trying to bring peace, some of the men don't find as attractive.
I mean, I agree. I agree 100% that like AP was saying, he's saying that majority of the women that he saw in the area where he was at, not many of them was upper echelon, right? The majority of the women is regular, right? So if we think that the majority of the women is regular, there's some regular women that look great. There's some brothers, right? And I think that a lot of the brothers is like, even the regular women are like, nah, I don't want to deal with dudes or this guy or this type of guy, and that you got to be like this in order for him to deal with you. And it's just like, what? You're like average. I'm average. Why can't we get together if we're both average? But that's when we get into the conversation that we had with you a few months ago. Hey, you're saying it's interpretation. I'm saying it's delusion. And I think
So,
there are women that are delusional that think they are better than what they actually are.
so HD, I'm going to agree with your earlier point in a different context. And this is going back to that video. We like peace and we like poom poom. I don't think I don't even think it has anything with the way she looks. I really don't. I think it's about the opportunity that presents itself most of the time to most men. If a different piece of poom poom presents itself, in most cases, it, from what I've seen, guys will take it. And it has nothing to do with what he has at home. It's just a different poom poom. It's no more nor no less than that, in my opinion. So, and yes, we enjoy our peace. But I do think, to Marcus's point, we will overlook the fives and the sixes that can provide that peace, that can provide that that boring life, because we want a seven or an eight or a nine. So we never really give that five or that six the opportunity in our heart. We never really give them that opportunity. They are, as we've said before, space fillers, time fillers. They're there for a certain amount of time, and we're not going to go any further than that relationship as soon as we find that five or that seven, eight, or nine that we want.
You really feel like it's boring though?
No, I love the peace I get,
Yeah.
but I had to. But see, keep in mind, I had to learn that when I was younger. I didn't fully. understand it, which is what created the situation previously. Ironically, the two of them get along great. That's what's really effing weird now. They get along great. But when I was younger, I wasn't disciplined enough to do what I was supposed to do properly.
Wait, the two of who get along? I might have missed. My dog start like squirming. The two of who? Two who?
The wife and the ex.
Oh, okay.
I have a question. When guys say that they want peace, because I had saw a video a while ago, and I just want to know if this has some truth to it. Um, the first part of the question is, when men say that they want peace, what does that look like? The other thing was the video that I saw, it was saying that men say that they want peace, but what they really mean is, I want you to leave me alone so I can do the things that I want to do without your interference. So are those two questions? Is true?
You just want to fight. You just want to fight with somebody. So when you hear the word peace, you just be wanting to fight with your man.
Who, me? No.
Yeah, who you? Yeah, you.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
No, no, because I do hear, I know what peace means to me, but as a woman, that might be very different for you as a man. So for me, I just want clarity, because now all of a sudden, this is, the
What,
talking point. We just want peace. We just want peace.
what's peace to you?
What, huh?
What's peace to you?
Peace to me is more about allowing me to be who I am and not necessarily have to always be.
Nagging.
I'm not a nagger. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Let me stop lying.
Yeah.
I don't want to nag because it's annoying. Even I don't like it. But sometimes that's what, when you guys say that you want peace, that's why I don't understand it. Because me nagging means that I have said something to you several times already, and you still didn't, follow through on what I had said or asked. So that's not peace. If you want peace, you'll take care of it. So yeah, that's where nagging come from. Y'all say that, but it's not nagging. Just like y'all talk to kids and say you shouldn't have to say something 3 or 4 times. Like when I ask you, within a reasonable amount of time, the expectation is that it's gonna, get done. But no, I just need you to answer that question. So just quiet. Y'all want to be in the space that's quiet. Okay.
No, so the first part of what you said is partly correct. Sometimes brothers, they like to be in that little bubble of tranquility, right? Just like you probably like to sit on the porch and nice and breezy, you got your glass and you like to be at peace. Like that's one form of what I think the peace is. The other thing is that when I'm trying to do the things that I need to do, or even when I'm trying to de-stress my life, we don't want to be dealing with things that will continue to increase stress, which is why a lot of brothers seem to have adverse reaction to quote unquote combative women, or women that will challenge you or that want to be put in their place. Because what that is like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing in this direction. And you keep saying, but why, but why, but why, but why? Which I understand that for some women, you're genuinely trying to get an understanding. But sometimes it gets kind of annoying to have to keep having to explain stuff when you will figure out what I'm trying to do once you follow what I'm trying to what I'm trying to get you to do. But you be like, no, you got to explain it to me first before I'm gonna be okay with doing it. And sometimes those interactions of having to keep explaining, or you getting quote unquote nagged, or you feel like when you say something, it don't just be that. It's always something extra. Like that be the stuff that brothers be like, I don't want that. I want to be able to, if I need to be in my corner, let me be in my corner. Hey, if I'm going to lead, direct, and do X, Y, Z, I don't need a whole bunch of like, well, what about this? Why don't you do it like this? Oh, you should have turned over there. Why don't you park over there? And it's like, do you want to drive? No, I don't want to drive, but I'm just giving you options and suggestions. And then if he turns around and be like, did I need suggestions? Did I ask for a suggestion? Well, I just want to listen. And
So
it'd
that
be just simple
video,
stuff like that.
so that video was accurate then, based on what you're saying. So with men, and it was actually a guy who's in the video that said that what men are really saying is that when they want peace, they want you to leave them alone so they could do whatever they want without having to answer to anybody about it.
To some degree, yes. Like
Okay.
some brothers are annoyed by their women. And it's a weird thing to say, but there's certain things that women will do. Like women like to be close. They like to they like to talk and explain and give multiple deep parts of their day and be like, hey, you'll start the story at this point, and then you brought this. And he's just like, where's the point of this story? He just wanted the start, the middle, and the end. But the way that women process information, oh, there's the context, there's the backstory, and then this thing tied into the thing that I told you last year that I told you about that girl that was crazy. Now this year, here's the culmination of that whole entire arc. And we're just like, that don't matter to us sometimes.
So you
And
just don't like it when they talk too much.
Sometimes men like engaging with with their women because sometimes women do have really good stuff to say, and they're kind of like the way that they are compassionate and how they explain certain things. It's really, sometimes endearing how women can kind of story tell sometimes, right? But on the flip side, like when it's like it just seems like it just goes on and on. And then he followed the story all the way to the end. And then he's like, you mean to tell me you told me a 15-minute story that you could have told me in 2 seconds? Now he's pissed.
So I have I'm gonna try to answer the question that Ms. Taken asked, and I want to go back to something you said earlier. But the number one thing is peace is a break in the not having peace is breaking the routine. Women, y'all have the worst timing. So, for example, when I come home, I need 15, 20 minutes. Don't come at me with a question. I don't honestly want to hear about your day right away. Just give me 10, 15 minutes to sit for a second, right? Oftentimes, women will try to interject in that 15-minute period. You have broken my routine. Anything that is a break in the routine because you need to get out whatever it is you got to get out is a break in the peace. So I don't necessarily know it's about the long drawn out stories because we can listen to it and we will hear it. It's just you guys will do it at the worst times, and that can be frustrating. A second thing I wanted to acknowledge real quick, and when you were talking about how you don't like nagging, what that piece of what you were saying, what that sounded like to me was being like a mom to a husband. And I'm gonna tell you from a man's point of view, we don't want to hear that shit. We heard you the very first time you said, and I'm just using this as an example, you said take out the trash. We heard you the very first time you said it. Just because we didn't jump up and do it when you said it doesn't mean that we're not going to get to it. We have cataloged it. We've got it in our head. We've got 5 other things that's on top of that before we can get to taking out the trash. And let's just say those things take an hour. The next thing you're going to do within the next 15 minutes, hey, babe, I asked you to take out the trash. Hey, okay, okay, I heard you, baby. I'll get to it. 15 minutes after that, babe, the trash is still here. I need to take it out. I got to do something with these carrot slices or whatever it is you're trying to dispose of, because every time you look at the trash, you're reminded that your man hasn't taken out the trash yet. But in his mind, he had to make sure the porch was swept. He had to make sure that the lawnmower had gas in it, because he might have to run to the store to get gas so he can mow the lawn the next day. Like, these are the things that are on the top of our mind. You got to remember, what you said doesn't necessarily come first. It comes in the order
Watching
received.
TV or playing video games or
And but that's our time for mental decompression. And that's got to be granted, because as much as the day weighs on the woman, the day weighs on the man as well. We need that time to decompress. And if we're in the middle of a game, so if I'm in the middle of a 2K tournament that and it's online, and I don't have time to take out the trash yet, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait, because as soon as I take out the trash, I'm losing the basketball game. No, you got to wait. But here's the deal: it's your job to understand that, though. And it's my job to communicate that to you. I'll get to it as soon as I finish this game, babe. Now, if I win, I'm gonna have another game right behind it. It's going. When I finish the game is when I finish the game.
see, this is a key point that you made that I can agree, but you gotta be able to take yourself out of the situation and look at it from both sides. So, like I said, I don't want to nag, right? And I think most women don't. But just like you explained, I asked you, and I think a reasonable amount of time for something, using your example, to take the garbage out. Do you have to get up immediately? That would be ideal, but ain't nobody tripping if you don't get up immediately and do something. But after 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by, an hour goes by, 2 hours go by, the garbage didn't get taken out, and now it's Monday. And I asked you Sunday to take the garbage out, right? So now you upset because I've asked you multiple times when I shouldn't have to. And then as a man, you're like, what you just said is, I'm not a kid, right? Like you're taking that as me parenting you, right? But at the same time, from our perspective, you're acting like a kid, because adults will communicate something or they'll go handle their business. And neither one of those are done based on what you're saying. You know what I mean? So that's where some of the front, and then you get mad like you're messing up my piece. But for us, that's our piece too.
So right there, there's a breakdown in communication. Basically, what what the man just heard was, you want me to do it in your time, forget my time. You didn't label the sense of urgency you had with the trash. Number two, it sounded more like a demand and not an ask. It sounded like, whereas you might be asking the question, you're actually telling him to take out the trash. And again, this is just a broad, using trash as a broad example. But I had this in my mind, you would have this done within the hour because it's quick and easy. In his mind, push down on the top of that damn trash and quit playing, because I have these other things I have to get to. Regardless if it's 1 day, 2 day. Now, a communication I think needs to happen. We're going to use the trash as an example. Like, babe, I need you to take the trash out for me, X, Y, and Z. But because things didn't happen in your timeline, you're upset for nothing. You got worked up, which worked him up, Because keep in mind, y'all control the temperature of the house. Women need to understand this. You control the temperature inside the house. When you're upset, the whole house is quiet and shuts itself down, waiting for mama to get right. That's every house that I know of. When dad's pissed, dad's gonna sit on the couch and soak it up and still take that damn trash out because that's just what he's supposed to do. But the truth of the matter is it's not in your timeline when you request anybody to do something. It's in their timeline, and you can't treat a woman can't treat a man like it's like he's her kid when that's supposed to be her man.
So again, it goes back to what that guy was saying on the thing. The peace for you guys is just to leave you alone and allow you to do whatever you want to do. Because that's
See,
what it's like. If you were to know, because as like when my husband asks me to do certain things for him, for the most part, I do it within a reasonable amount of time.
Reasonable is relative.
No, 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 no. If it's something that he needs immediately, he'll communicate that and say, babe, can you do X, Y, and Z for me right now? Or babe, can you do X, Y, and Z? I need it by such and such, right? So when he asks me things, I will do it in a reasonable amount of time for the most part. I'm not going to sit there and say like, well, every time he say jump, I'm like, how high? No. But for the most part, it is within a reasonable amount of time because I'm going to treat him the way that I want to be treated, right? So, and then too, I'm forgetful. So I know if I don't take care of stuff in the immediate for the most part, then I probably will forget. So I'll take care of it. There are
Miss
times that
Nikki,
I do forget and he'll remind me. But I think like going with your example about the garbage is a matter of because my son used to do this. Sometimes my husband does this. Like you said, y'all go in, the garbage is piled up. Can you take out the garbage, please, or whatever? And you'll go and then just try to push the garbage all the way down so you don't have to take it out. But it stinks. So it's not that it's just pile high, it stinks as well. So the house is stinking as well. So I mean, it's just things like that that I when you guys are saying you want peace, that for me, and I don't know if this is with a lot of women, is that that's part of my peace coming home to a house that's clean, a house that's inviting, a house that's nice. Because soon as I walk through the door, and if it looks like chaos, it stresses me out. So that's
okay,
part of my piece as well. And y'all
okay.
know y'all want to come home to a clean home too.
Now, mistaken in your defense. I think that you have a point, right? I do think that you want to basically treat the situation the way that you would like it to be treated. If you do things, quote unquote, in a reasonable manner, you're like, hey, you should do this in turn. The actual example of, say, the trash can, in all actuality, the priority level for that thing, it's like, it's not really high. If you ask your husband or a man or most men that care about you, if it's something that's truly urgent, he's not gonna play about it. He's gonna get to it. He's gonna knock it out. But we talking about the trash, or there's a sock on the floor, or you didn't wash this dish. Men don't have the same like mental pain point that women have for stuff that happens at home. When women have a house that's crazy, that's got clothes everywhere, people and they just order trash and it smells weird, y'all will be up the wall saying like, "Hey, I can't take this. This is stressing me out." A lot of brothers, they don't stress them out like that. Literally, he can be like, "Listen, that trash could have been sitting there full for a day. That trash was full for you for an hour, and you're like, why is it this not important to you? It's not important to him because one, he just doesn't see it the same way that you do. You're taking it almost as a slight that why didn't you do something that I asked you nicely to do that's really bothering me and messing up my peace when in all actuality, you're actually doing the same thing to him. He's at a state of peace at that point. And if he say he gonna get to it, he gonna get to it. Now, most men they begin to learn how women operate, and that sometimes when a woman is asking you, it's almost not an ask. It's almost like she's telling you, right? So to limit his stress and to limit the things that he gotta do in his life, he just gonna do it quicker than he want to, so that you can be quiet about it. He don't really care about it. He just gonna do it just to make sure that you ain't got nothing else to say, so he can get to the stuff that he want to get to. But too often, when women have these conversations or they looking at these things, because I literally was watching something on Instagram earlier today. A lady, I don't know, she was pregnant or something, and she had an issue with her husband or something like that. But she had cooled down, and at some point in the day, she had asked him, can he go get her a Pepsi? And he was like, yeah, babe, it's no problem. You know what I'm saying? I got you, no problem. He went to go play the game for like 45 minutes, right? She went to the shower, took 25 minutes, came out, and basically almost had a nervous breakdown. Like, you don't care about me because you said you would get it. And when I got out the shower, it won't here. And then this amount of time passed and da da da. And I'm telling you, it's the same conversation that men and women have across the globe in the US. That the expectations that each other has for each other is just different. It's just different.
You know what? I see. You want to go, Mark?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, when they be doing this stuff, what do y'all be doing? Like, if she start throwing a fit, what do you do when she does this?
Who throw a fit?
Like the nag, you don't care about me and doing all of that. What is your response to
I
that?
look at her like she's crazy.
Grab the garbage.
Okay, I was just curious.
I grab the garbage and I'll sit it right by the back door. And he hates that. But I do it because I'm trying to put stuff in the garbage, because more than likely I'm cleaning the kitchen or cooking or doing something where I need to put stuff in the garbage and can't.
Is this where fights be kicking off from? Like when you say people be arguing a lot, is this where the argument happens?
It can be something that small that started, but I think
How does it work? Can you like role play it with HD so I can just see? Because I'm trying to understand.
I think it's an underlying issue, though. The issue is not at that point. The issue doesn't become just the garbage.
Right? Can you role play it with HD so I can observe how
It
it
is
happens?
the principle, sir. She's
the
not upset
disregard.
about the trash. She's
Now, yeah.
upset about the principle that you could have been done this, and now I could have peace because this thing that was on my mind was taken care of. Because it's your job to take care of it, and you ain't take care of it. And now I gotta fuss at you because you didn't take care of it. You the man, and da 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 da.
Marcus, I'm gonna tell you something that's funny. Once the I don't actually deal with it anymore because it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to me anymore. But once the argument starts, because in our minds as men, it really is about the trash. So we'll say something like,
Can I get a role
you know,
play, please? I just want to watch
Why
it
you
happen.
want role playing?
I just want to
oh,
see it happen.
You always be wanting role play.
no, wait, you got okay. Let me give you. But
Bounce
Marcus, hold on. Here's what happens. We will say something like, "All right, I'm taking out the trash." Before we've even gotten to the trash, yeah, but you didn't take. This is what they'll say. Yeah, but you didn't take it out when I asked you to. Now it's just sitting in the back by the door stinking. Well, I'm gonna grab it now. In our mind, it's about the trash. In her mind, it's about the disrespect. that you didn't take the trash out inside of a reasonable time because it was already stinking. We still haven't even processed that. That's in these arguments. We still haven't processed that she's pissed, not about the trash anymore. It's about the respect for me. When I say me, I'm, let's say if it was her. So you've taken out the trash and you come back in, and she's more pissed than before you took the trash out, and she wants to have this conversation right now. And in your mind, you just took the trash out. She will say some shit like, "Why don't you listen to me? I just
You
needed you to take the trash out."
I think that I think that what's happening is
I'll be looking around trying to figure out who she's talking to.
Huh?
Who's she talking to? Man, if you don't go sit your ass down.
Who are you talking to? Oh, you're talking about the
Why you don't listen to me?
So
this is the thing.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that what happens is, at some point, I think women get frustrated. Nigga, you see that trash? Like, why do I even have to say take the trash out? You passing the trash, and it's almost like I'm gonna be hungry when I get home, and you expect some food, right? You shouldn't have to tell me to cook. I should know, like, hey, everybody got to eat, right? It's like having to come home every day. Like, are you gonna cook? Are you gonna cook? Or when you rub, you go like, is she ever gonna initiate sex? Is she never? It's certain things that men want, and there's certain things that women want, right? And sometimes you don't want to have to ask a person. You want them to just do it, right? And so I think that's the entire. Because I guess that would be frustrating to me too. And when my son comes home, I'm like, Negro, you ain't doing nothing. Take that damn. Why is that trash just sitting there? And I see what you're saying. They push it down because I can consistently take the trash out, right? But they'll just pass, and I'm like, it's okay. We got more garbage bags. You don't have to put it all in this one. Just take that one out. And like, are you trying to save money on trash bag? I'm just confused. And so why would you even want that sitting there? But I do get it from the guy's standpoint too, because when my mom's here, she'll be like, Shan, I walk in the door and she's folded these clothes for me that I didn't ask her to do. And she's like, when I get ready, when I just got work, give me a moment of silence. And I will come back in here once I've had my peace time, and then I will put the things up. So I get it from the guy's perspective. I know that peace time is so important because I care about that as well, right? But I do understand from the standpoint where Mistaken just said, dude, it's days later and the trash is still there. Having time to yourself is like, I'm not going to get to it right now. We can understand that. Like, nobody's... Take your time, my dear. But days, even if you said okay and you took it out the next morning, that's understandable. But when you're talking about it's Saturday and then Monday and the trash is still sitting here, that's kind of like, why would you even want the trash to be sitting there? You're an adult and you sitting there with big ass trash, like as an adult, that's just nasty. Like, take the fucking trash. Like, why wouldn't you want to take the trash out? Like, nobody should have to tell you that. That's like adulting, right? Like, it's like y'all sit here talking about my fire alarm going chirping. You hear like it's the same.
Once the lid on a trash can can't close all the way, that's your cue to take it out. Like, nobody should even have to say anything. That's your cue. Heck, I can't close it all the way. Let me just go ahead and take it out.
I'm pushing on that lid to see if it can close all the way.
It's like they trying to make it happen. You walk in the house, you smell a stench, and you like, I know
that I think on behalf of man, I can agree to that. As long as y'all agree that as soon as a man start rising, that should be your sign to go take care of that. As soon as
you
woo!
That's sign to tilt, just lay to this.
Okay. All right. Well, you're not gonna get no argument. I'm speaking to these men.
What's the sign to do, Marcus? Tell me.
You know what it's the sign to do.
Like the trash and say, okay, hold on real quick.
What Millie say? Get it down. She put it down. Get it up. She put it down. Anytime she got you.
do
Well,
it.
you've agreed to that, then I
I
guess.
mean,
Listen,
I just want to
give
make
me some peace.
I just want to make one real quick point and actually be real about it real quick. Shan, you made a very good comment when you said expecting food to be done when you get home. This is in my opinion how proper communication works. What I do when I'm on the way home, because I've decided to learn my woman and know my woman, sometimes she's tired too, and I get it. Do I will call and say, "Do you need me to pick up anything for dinner on the way home?" Then I can find out if dinner is ready or if I need to pick something up on the way home. Now, mistaken, if your ass is about to cook and you need the trash taken out before you cook, especially if you need it done now. Hey, babe, I'm about to cook, and I'm gonna need you to take the trash out before I cook. I guarantee you that shit'll go out pretty quick. You know why? Cause that nigga hungry. I'm just saying it's about understanding your mate, understanding how they move, how they tick, and that goes back to what I was saying with breaking the routine. We men, we are routine based. That's how y'all know we cheating because we're breaking the routine. We are routine based. So if I come home and I sit for an hour, that doesn't mean you be fucking quiet necessarily. It just means I need my hour and we can do whatever you want to do. Now, if I normally come home and we start chopping it up right there, right out the gate, don't sit there in silence. Let's have the conversation. That's all part of that piece. Understanding your mate, it is truly important when we're talking about breaking peace and what does it look like, right? It doesn't mean sit there and be quiet. It just means understand my routine, understand my ticks. My job is to understand your routine, understand your ticks, understand that because you're a woman, you will break routine often because you have a friend that's 45 minutes away and she's crying and you got to go be there for her. That's just the shit y'all do. And we got to know we got to give you the space to do it.
You
Yeah.
know what's
Do
so
y'all
funny?
see a man enjoying his life and relaxing and sometimes think, I know it's something he could be doing? I just, it just bothers me that
Then
he
you
just
better not be
sitting
looking at me the
still
same way.
at peace.
We
Yeah,
will both be in peace.
you're absolutely right. He looked so peaceful, and I already asked him 3 hours ago to take that trash out. So yes,
We gonna
Just
both be.
take it ain't shit.
Yeah. I mean,
No, we
listen,
are. No,
I'm
won't
fine
be
with that
none.
argument.
Let me tell you
I
this.
just think that sometimes when we have these conversations, right? Like y'all brought up the example of he's gonna be hungry when he get home, right? And you ain't make nothing. When guys get met with some of these things, they accept it as this is just what it is, and then we will find a different solution to fix my current problem. I'm hungry. She did not cook. So if she's not going to cook, we're going to go get something to eat or find something to eat or make something to eat. And I think that sometimes that's where it also causes some of the issues when it comes to, when we're dealing with our women is that you not having this thing that you asked to be done, it almost seems like you're being disrespected, right? To some degree. Some of the times when women don't do some of the things that you would expect or that you would like for your woman to do, whether you communicated it or not, we sometimes will just be like, it is what it is, and then we will make the adjustment, and we may not hold certain things as rough as what you would when you don't get what you asked for.
So,
And I think that causes some tension.
so the difference is trash is usually sometimes it depends on how many people are in the household. It's not usually taken out every single day, right? But cooking is every day.
Which I don't
And
cook
no,
every
no, no.
day.
So the job that you're being asked to do, whether it be mowing the yard, it's not an everyday thing. Her job is every day. So if she feels like since you don't have an everyday, the little days that you do, you think you will be on point. And like I said, we'll give you a day or so.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you say the little things that they do?
Marcus,
So you
not
don't.
everybody's super dad over here like you. Be quiet. Mute your mic. Okay.
So no, I'm gonna fight for the men on this one. Hold on. If you carry a heavy lawnmower up the stairs and mow a big ass lawn, the toilet get
Up
broke.
the stairs. What is stairs? What are you taking lawnmowers upstairs for?
The lawnmower got to go in the basement. You got to carry it out the basement onto the first level.
Okay, mega house. Okay.
Nah, he's in Chicago. They probably got basements.
Yeah, we got basements.
Wait, you don't got a door?
No, he got a mega house. Stop it, Marcus. Stop it, sir.
Wait, why are you climbing up the
What?
stairs?
Y'all got a garage attached to the basement? My basement
No,
is attached
it's
to my
just-
garage, which is
Nah,
attached to the backyard.
but
which
listen,
is walking
Hey,
in.
P,
He's
that's
not
a
gonna
lot of
dance
grass.
by. You ain't gonna dance by.
That's a lot of
y'all
fucking
y'all
grass.
be
I need a
cooking
riding
like that.
lawnmower.
A lot of y'all women do not cook like that. Don't do that.
Marcus,
I ain't gonna lie.
that ain't
I
no normal
don't
shit you
now.
got going on
I
over there.
used
I don't know
to.
what that is.
It's normal in the city. Just not a bit.
No, like you go up out of the basement. That's where you are. You're now in your yard.
Yeah,
Then you got to put it back down in the basement when you put it away.
when you
So
put
y'all
it
got
away.
real live like gutter like basements that are underground.
I got a basement entrance in the front and a basement entrance in the back, and then an entrance to the upstairs.
But
See,
is
my
it
basement
You can
is
walk
almost
in
like
one,
most
two,
people
three,
here.
4, 5, 6 different doors to get in my house.
Is
So-
it a ramp?
Nah, it's stairs. Them some stairs. They kind of deep too.
So most people in the South, there's a way into the basement from the outside. You don't have to go upstairs. You could just
Yeah.
go
I
around
never heard of that.
and put it in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
I got a shed out there
Well,
too.
so in the South, okay. Hey, look, for the South, think of it more like a storm shelter attached to the house.
I see. That's what I'm thinking about when he just mentioned it. Interesting.
Yeah,
So
if you
and
got
these
a
are all
hilly house,
things. So these are all things that you take in consideration because everybody's living arrangement is very different, right? So
Well, see,
his
as a woman,
situation
I would try to solve for that.
would cause
already said that you
it
have a
would be
shed.
it'd be more effort. For me, we got a lawn guy. He ain't even gotta take the it's a guy that comes by here and do that shit for us. So and the reason is because men, you are awesome. Y'all beautiful, but y'all don't be cutting that grass the same way that professional do. It be looking like y'all be looking like, oh, he outside with that lawnmower. Sometimes I be passing by my neighbor house like, I wish he
going
was
to
this
the
guy.
barber and getting
I
your hair
wish
cut.
he would just get a lawn guy. It don't look the same. But anyway, sorry. That's my
yeah,
neighbor.
I can admit that
But,
these brothers out here that got these lawn care businesses, it looks pristine. The only
It
thing
looks
that I
so
can't do
different. I
well,
don't know what they're doing. It just looks different.
they're
They're getting
like a
paid.
walking technique.
They're getting paid. That's the difference.
Well, no, it's not just because they're getting paid. Because a lot
Shit.
of men
It's
that
a
do their yards
technique.
really
It's
well
not, it looks
that don't get
different.
paid.
It's definitely a technique.
But
You're
also,
right,
like,
because you're gonna call somebody else. You got to pay them if they don't do your shit right. I promise you, it's cause they getting paid.
and they
I
like
will
it.
put
Like,
more
some men
care and
actually like it.
effort. I'd even do an edge job if I was getting paid. I'm not edging this shit. Hell no.
And we can
That's too much
tell.
work.
We can
Nah,
tell
You
you
get
got
on my nerves.
Listen, let me tell you something.
your
There's
neighbors
a
can
couple of
tell.
things HG don't do. He ain't about to do no yard work for real no more, and he ain't about to paint and stain. Those are the two things. I will build your house. I will do your framing. I will put your door in. I'll fix the light fixture. I'll fix your car. I'll do a whole bunch of
Drizzle,
stuff.
drizzle.
But edging the yard and painting and staining, nah, I'm good, bro.
Okay, so y'all listen. So oh god, I just lost my train of thought. My bad. I'm sure it'll come back. If it's important, it'll come back, right? So anybody else wanted to add to this topic so we can go to the next one? What is that? My shit is so-
BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy.
Did anybody else want to add to this topic? Oh, you know what? So you're right. So when it comes to this is one thing, this is off subject, but this is what women have got to stop doing and get mad. They can do it, but they got to stop being mad because they did it. Women have this thing where to get the guy, they show up in amazing ways, right? But then when they get the guy, they like, oh, I'm overworked. Well, bitch, you did it in the beginning. You gave him this fantastic plate of all these things, this superwoman, these superpowers that you had. But then when you get married, you're like, oh, it's too much. He expects me to do all of these things because you were doing it before. You did it with no problems before
I
you
agree.
got married.
I think that go both ways too.
Both ways. You're right.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Because man, to pull up stunting, rent a car, he pull up in a fake Lambo that he rented, take you on a yacht the first you know what I'm saying, a rental, and you'll never go on one again. That'll be the last time after he did it.
What happens to that car you had? It's not your
Or,
own.
yeah, or you pull up, open the door for you, pull your chair out, pay for the meal, compliment you, show up with flowers, take a what's them things? Them little blue pills, give you the best sex of your life, and that's it. You won't get
Marcus, Marcus, did you see the video where the Nigerian guy pulls up to pick up this chick, and he's in man, it's a nice Tesla too. He goes back and forth with this chick about opening the door. He ends up going around the car. He opens the door. She gets in the car. He gets to the front of the car like he's going to go back to the driver's side, and I think it dawns on him. You're like, man, I just went back and forth with this bitch. He goes back to the passenger side, opens the door. He's like, get out, get out, get out.
Yeah.
He closed the door. He gets it, and I don't think this is actually a skit. He goes back around, and she's like, I just wanted you to treat me like a gentleman, and he was like, shit, I warmed up the car, I got the heated seat, I had all of that for you. No, I'm out. And she's trying to get him to basically still take him out, and he was like, no, I'm out. He peeled out. Like, I'm gone. Like, you ain't calling the shots around here. Drizzle. I just want to throw that out there real quick.
I had one guy. He gets so mad if you touch anything, a door.
I was
I'm
gonna
like,
say,
listen,
I
brother.
had saw that video. I saw exactly what you were talking about, and I was torn between the two. I think if you are a young lady and you were raised, this is what men do, then she was right in having that expectation. And if he didn't know, to ask him to do it. But on the flip side, I think this is where we get things wrong too, in men and women, in terms of our standards, is that I know I've probably been like, I'm not going to argue with him about it. I'll just get in the car and we can go, so I can have a, good time or whatever. But I think in doing that, we are not setting a standard of expectation. So it'll start with this door this time. And then that the next time is not a big deal. The next time, and then the next thing you know, you're not, I mean, this is just an exaggeration because a door isn't that big of a deal, but now you're feeling like your needs aren't being met because you never stood on it to begin with. But on his end, why are we arguing about the door? Like, come on, I pushed it open. Come on, get in. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But if this is their first date, that's why I keep going back and forth. If that was their first date, I don't think that he was correct in that.
So I want to just tie this into kind of the topic where Shannon, where the topic is where are all the good women at? In that scenario, the problem is her communication. She is the problem in that entire scenario. And here's the reason why. He lays out, he reaches over, he opens the door from his side, like when he leans over. What she should have done was get in the car and then when they're driving, communicate her expectations. But instead, she'd rather go back and forth and not get in the car to try to make a demand of a person when you don't even know when you don't even know what their culture is or how any of like his mindset works. You can communicate your expectation without creating a scene. And I would like to think that good, healthy women would have done something similar. Okay, I need to communicate what my expectation is. And if it doesn't happen in the future, then I can actually deuce this guy up. But she decided to be ghetto and stand outside the car. Come open my door. Come open my door. Come open my door. And he's like, "Yo, we got dinner. It's gonna be at least $200. Yo, I'm gonna lean over and open the door. Just hop on in."
That's so
She
weird to me. It just takes up so much time. Like, if what are we doing here? Like,
Listen,
like
this is a very good example of how easy it is to see the difference between a man and a woman. Man said task is to open door for you. He opens door. Woman is like, yes, you open the door, but you didn't open up the way that you're supposed to open the door. And that's the same thing that people get in trouble when they're talking about cleaning the house or how to do this with the kids or how to do this. He cleans the house. He didn't clean the house the way you liked it clean. So in your mind, he ain't clean the house because he didn't clean it to the way that you did it.
don't
And
you
this
like your
same
food to be cooked the way you like it? You wanted the flavor to be the way you wanted it to be flavored?
This is true, but the fact still remains is that if he made a sandwich, right? And you're like, all right, this is a sandwich, and then you look at the sandwich and be like, you ain't make the sandwich the way I make the sandwich. Sometimes when brothers get stuff that it not done the way that we wanted, we'll still take it because what the overall goal was, we got it achieved or it was achieved. But sometimes when you're dealing with the woman or your woman, you have it seems like, from my perspective, I'm a guy, I'm biased. I can admit that I'm biased. It seems like sometimes men are willing to be like, it's not a big of a deal. And they'll sweep it under the rug, even though they're not getting exactly what they want. But when you listen to the woman, if it's not done a certain type of way or in a certain type of time, or if it's certain feelings or certain things not attached with it, you're going to be like, nah, this ain't it. And you're going to be a lot more confrontational about the things that you did not receive based upon your expectations.
You just gotta figure your mate out in a discussion. What makes them tick? Y'all, this is very petty.
Well, Shan, that was the thing. I think the issue, I think that scenario would not have happened if they were in a relationship. My thing is they were just getting to know each other, and that was the first date. So that's why I was up in the air with that, because the first date, typically everybody's on their best behavior. So the fact that I admit, like, she was sounding like, even I was kind of like, well, dag, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, dag, this is the first date. You can't just, even if you don't continue to do it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, for the most part, shows up to the interview, appropriate, right? So that was the first date. So in my mind, as a woman, if that was something that I know that I required or expected, and you didn't do it and you fussed at me about it, I will already know it will be a no for me. Because if this is the first date and it's going left over something like this, then I know we would bump heads. So I think he was right in telling her, get out the car and go. But I think both of them needed that. I don't think neither one of them needed to engage in that, potential, just on that little thing.
I can agree with you on that, but there's little pieces in that video that let me know he, in his mind, he's made tons of concessions. He stated that you didn't want to meet me at the restaurant. He stated, I made sure to take care of all of the stuff to get us into the restaurant, and it's going to be a minimum $200 for us to eat. He stated, like, it seemed like she came off combative to him. I'm not saying that she did, but to him, he he probably felt like she came off combative right out of the gate, and then he gets there, and this compounds the issue. I had to drive 45 minutes because out of the way because you wouldn't meet me at the restaurant for our first date. Now you won't just get in the car.
Mhm.
So from his mind, and I'd say most men's mind, I've already done what I need to do, and I can go eat Burger King and call it a night, which he probably did after he left. But what should have been communicated on the phone is, hey, I expect a gentleman. That's why I want you to come to my house to pick me up. I expect certain things. If those expectations were laid out, I think he would have been the type to oblige it. But the fact is, I think he felt like he'd already gone above and beyond what he needed to do to make the date happen. And if she, in my opinion, if she simply would have just gotten in the car and then communicated what her expectations were, they would have had a much easier time. I wish you guys would have seen the video. I'll post it in the.
I saw it. I saw it.
But to me, I'm like, bro, I actually feel you because in my mind, when she was going back and forth, in my mind, I'm like, bruh, drive off. That's really what I was thinking. I
I
was
was
like, bruh,
too.
drive
I'm
off.
not gonna lie. I was too. That's why I said I was going back and forth because on one end I understood where she was coming from. And then on the other end, I kind of felt him like you're doing too much. So yeah, when he left, I kind of laughed. I thought that part was funny. Like, dang,
No,
yeah,
no, we're okay.
it just
No, no,
came
we're
like
okay.
it
So,
just came like, no,
s- s-
I ain't going
so-
to deal. I'm not dealing with this. Like, get out my.
Men gotta normalize that. When somebody acting the way you don't like, you just walk away. It's so easy. Like, stop thinking that she got the last chance you're gonna get and be like, you know what? I can do better. And just walk clean away.
I think both. I think both men and women need to practice that. You're absolutely right.
so I have a question.
Now you gotta walk away from this topic. But it's been great. New member.
Marcus, you gonna read them?
Oh, Kenrick Dunkley became a YouTube member. Salute, salute. Chicago Riddler with the 10 ball. What. Die, fuck them up. What. I'm gonna do my stuff. They not like us. Hey, they not like us. Hey, that shit goes so hard.
Oh, yeah, look, that's what I was doing. Listen to this. So
that
Drake
was
dropped some
a song?
shoes, right?
Hold on,
This is
shoot,
the
zoom in
look
so I can see what shoe it was.
Girl, you need to charge that phone.
Shut up. Okay, so I'm going to point out some comments. It says it's to catch a predator sevens. Like you said, minors,
The A minors.
underage sizes only. I'm trying to find the one that was so funny to me. Let me find it because I'm not going to go through all these. He said, "Nah, we never wanted the. I can't believe she's not 15s."
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all
Listen, people, these comments go on and on and on.
do y'all think Drake knew or didn't know people felt like this about him?
Well, he did do a show and they booed him and they threw stuff on the stage.
Like recently, after Push or before Pusha T?
I
mean, before
before
Kendrick.
and after, I believe that he went to be a surprise guest on somebody's show and Cass booed him. Like he's been getting like smoke from people for quite some time. Like, oh, this guy, he's a culture vulture. He's just taking down all the black people's styles and all these other groups of stuff. And like Drake is a pretty polarizing individual in music in general because some people say he's not hip hop, they say he's pop. Even though he's had like extensive like tough lyrical albums and stuff like that. And He's a type of dude that likes to make music. He likes
Can you
to
add the
make
caveat that he had some extensive hip hop writers write for him and he performed? So look, Drake a great entertainer. If that, I won't argue against that.
Yeah, there's some stuff that he had people write, but there's some things that he wrote himself. Like that's how this industry continues to keep rolling. Like everybody don't just be writing their stuff. Like people be
It's hip
writing
hop
people
to write your
choruses.
stuff.
They be doing their beats and stuff like that. So to
It's hip
me,
hop to write your stuff. That's what make you
Yeah,
hip.
so rappers like to write their own,
That's what
just
make
like
you hip hop.
poetry on, it's not like singers where singers you get a demo, and you're like, oh, I think that people like to give credit to people who are their own, because basically
No,
if
I
you're
know
not that,
ghostwriters out there that
yeah, you do have ghostwriters. But what I'm saying to you, but that's the reason why they're ghostwriters, because they know that you get no credit for not writing your own stuff. They're a
It's
ghost for a reason. So listen, my thing is this. It's not the same as R&B where you can be the voice because your voice is what they need, right? When you are rapping, that's supposed to be your creative. You get more credit when it's your creativity that's coming out of your mouth. Because other than that, you're just an actor who's rapping. Like you're just, here's a script, I'll rap it for you. Okay, it's coming out my mouth. It's not the same.
I mean, I agree. It's not the same. There's levels to this. I agree. But the thing is even if you got the right words, everybody cannot rap. They can't perform. It's like there's levels to being a professional entertainer and rapper.
Sure, but what we were seeing in the rap game, it used to be, you used to dog out people who weren't real rappers, right? In the 90s. It used to be hard to get into that genre because it was like you had to have like the background. Like it was just like, yo, you even just allow anybody into the rap game. Like you got to prove you belong here.
You have to be the man that you're saying you are, and your raps got to reflect your life. You can't take nobody else's style and just be that
it
person.
wasn't created
don't work
the same
like
as
that.
other music. It was.
But would you say that it has changed?
Society.
Because I know back in the day when we said freestyling, ninjas was really freestyling.
And you got credit for that. You was like, all right, freestyle.
They don't do that now. They write freestyle raps.
And recite when they ready to freestyle.
And then when somebody asks them to say the freestyle, then they say the rap that they memorize. Like, so it's changed. That's all I'm saying. People are getting their rhymes written for them, and they're spitting it.
Hip hop didn't change. Hip hop.
Hold on now. Cube wrote most of NWA stuff. What are we talking about?
So I know very well how the music industry goes. I know very well. Trust me. I get it. What I'm saying is
pop.
As far as the respect in the game, people, when it comes to rap, I know especially musicians, they get them. It's not that serious as far as like singers. But when you're talking about rap, the people who have the most who have the most respect in the game are usually the people they feel like write their own things. That's the whole point behind a ghostwriter. They don't want you to know. If it's nothing to hide, then you wouldn't need a ghostwriter. It ain't shit to hide, right?
It's further than that. You have to actually not only write, but they got to be from your actual experiences or your experienced life in some type of way. If you start pretending like you from the projects and rapping about all this project hood shit, and you grew up in the suburbs, you're gonna get. You see what they did to Young Bird when they found out he wasn't actually from Chicago, he was from the suburbs. They got him the fuck up out of here. I don't know if y'all remember.
They let certain people slide with you don't rap about your actual life. That's the reason why one of the most prominent lines is from J. Cole. It says, "I'm not as cool with lying as the rest of y'all are." And there's even some of the best artists like Jay-Z, Nas, they've had moments where, it wasn't all them. What hurt me one time,
artistic embellishment and just flat out lying about who you are two different things. If Jay say I was moving keys and he only sold 63s, that's a little different. But
I'm with you.
And I also think it's different when you have a writer in the room and y'all collaborating together. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's totally different from, okay, here's a rap. I want you to rap it. Here's some lines. I want you to.
I'm cool on that. But one thing that hurt me, like what Miss Taken was saying, back in the day, you can tell people had to rhyme off the dome, right? Like this is fresh off the press. You know, this isn't pre-written for this event, right? Or it wasn't something that I rehearsed and then I'm now bringing it to you. When Tigger from the basement
Oh yeah.
literally
Right, but
came out
yeah,
and was like, some of your best artists, y'all think they would have that thing off the dome?
and them
No.
days is gone. You used to have to get, and you knew the people who was because they would make it about the moment. They see their opponent, and they start getting on them like it was almost a comedy in a rap, and you like,
Look,
oh,
I actually won
Snoop,
a
Snoop
6-round
was
rap
a
battle.
good freestyle. He was pretty
oh.
good. Snoop
Yeah, Snoop
back
can
in the
freestyle.
day.
You know,
I,
Brooks, the teacher, was you there when Brooks was the teacher at our school? You
I'd
know, he
argue he's a
won
better
Freestyle
freestyler.
Friday several weeks in a
I
row
would too.
on BET. What's show we used to watch on 106 and Park?
106
They
and
have
Park,
that freestyle.
Freestyle
He
Friday.
won he was like the competitor like 7 weeks in a row. He kept winning. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I won 6 rounds for $500 in the freestyle competition.
Mm.
I got bars. I was fucking dude them up.
Them used to be the days. Those were great days. Okay, that was
Yeah.
not the subject. Let's get back to the women, the good
I got the
ones,
trophy downstairs.
the good ones, or the lack thereof. Here we go. Here we go again.
But when we pray to God, we just pray for God to find us a woman to love us.
Cap. I call cap on that. Men do not be praying for women to love them. Like most men have women that love them, or we've been in relationships with women that loved us. Like that's never been a problem. I don't know when this happened. Like who do you guys think you're fooling? Right? Like nobody who believes you. Only other dudes believe you. Like women don't believe you. Sane people who are paying attention don't believe you. Men aren't having trouble finding women who love them. Like that's not what? That's not what's going on. The problem is what you guys like to classify as love is anything but, right? Y'all want a woman to be in a relationship with you and then ignore all of your faults and never challenge you to be a better person. And in your mind, that is love. A woman that is going to accept you at your lowest, at where you're at right now, and don't expect you to be any better, won't challenge you to be a better human being whatsoever. That is what you call love. But you know that that's not love. I'm not, don't get me wrong. I know that you know that that's not love, but that's what, when you guys say love, that's what you're trying to say, because you mean you haven't found a woman who values you as a human being and treats you like a human being. You're telling me that that's hard for a man to find? That's not reality. The reality is it's hard for women to find men to treat them like human beings. That's tough. That's tough. A woman making this, I could see that. Like, hey man, we just pray for a man that's gonna love me and, you know, no matter what, and yada yada yada. I could believe that, because men we don't even fucking know how to love 90% of the time. We don't even know what love looks like. We don't know what it feels like. We don't know how to exhibit it. Right? Y'all don't be looking for love. Y'all be looking for wife slaves. Y'all don't be looking for somebody to like make you a better person or anything like that. You just be looking for a person that's going to treat you like your mama treated you, wait on you hand and foot, not challenge you, let you cheat in peace, right? Let you stink, be funky and shit. Y'all got to really stop playing this game. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. Okay, sir? You're not just looking for love. Let's get some women that you dealt with. I want to see them. Line them up. Let's talk to them. Let's ask them. What happened? Why didn't you guys work out? It better be that they mistreated you. It better be that they were lying to you. They were manipulating you. They weren't able to grow as human beings. Like that's what I better hear out of them. But you know good and goddamn well you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to produce 2 or 3 women that you recently dealt with to say that about you. Like, yeah, you know, he was a real loving, caring person. I just couldn't get it together. I just didn't know how to love him. Like, be fucking for real.
Now there are women, because I've seen confessions, you know. What are y'all's thoughts? I thought he was hilarious. I'm sorry.
So, okay, let's address this a little bit. So he makes a valid point about men not knowing how to love. That's pretty valid point. because I think every woman wants to be loved differently, and we have to pay attention to the way that a woman wants to be loved. He was wrong when he said he want that men want a woman to treat them the way their mama treat them, and then to say and not push back. Hell no, mamas push back. So he was wrong in that. Um, he started off
Some
with
mamas
what I
push back. Some mamas. These new mamas, some mamas push back. Our mamas used to push back. These new
I ain't
mamas
met
be
a
like, whatever
black
they baby
woman,
say
black
goes.
mama that ain't never pushed back. I ain't never met a black woman.
now there's some that want to be that
We may meet
that's
these
that
boys.
is some, but um, what he said early on is what I was saying early on, and men on some fuck shit. He said it a little bit differently, but we do be on some fuck shit. Where he's wrong is she wasn't the women that where the relationships didn't work. It was because she probably wasn't packaged the way he wants, the way he envisions a woman packaged. She was a time filler. Um, he was right on the cap. Men don't say that shit. I just want a woman to love me. What the fuck is that? I don't think we typically say that shit. Um, there's just so many different loose points. I don't fully agree with him because I've seen too many videos where a woman says, uh, he was a great man. He was a real good man, but I wanted something different. He was real good to me, but I just wanted something that wasn't him. Like, bitch, what the hell else do you expect to get? So there's a lot of videos out there that are like that. So I think he's wrong in that respect. But all in all, I I I think he made some valid points. I really do. But no, I don't want a woman to treat me like my mama. Are we crazy? Please don't treat me like my mama. We just talked about that earlier. Mistaken, nagging and shit. No, don't treat me like my mama. But yeah, there's more I want to say. I just got to figure out the best way to articulate it. But yeah, he was right and wrong on some shit.
Yeah, I agree. Ham sandwich. He was right and wrong about some stuff. The thing that bothered me was that whole challenge you thing. I don't want nobody challenging me. You're right. I don't that whole the way he was saying it just irked my soul a little bit. You can encourage, you can motivate, but challenge me sounds so much like, nigga, you ain't gonna do this. Or nigga, you need to be doing this. Or you ain't shit. If you got somebody that's sitting there pointing out, it's one thing to help somebody grow versus point out deficiencies. I don't want nobody sitting there like, see, this is where you're wrong. This is da 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 da. They could be like, you could do this better. Da, da, da. I can understand that. Maybe it's his choice of words. I agree with him about the that you just wanted to do all what you want to do in peace and all that stuff. I can agree with that. Um, what else did he say? He said a whole lot. It was a long thing.
Yeah, it was.
I personally believe in, challenge can be like, all right, baby, I challenge you to get that. It doesn't have to be. I
Mm-mm.
don't think of it as, because I challenge my students. I don't think it's in a bad way. It's just the way
Exactly.
you
You're the
do
proctor,
it.
right? You're in charge of your students, right? So you could challenge them.
So challenging you. And what I'm saying is,
Someone would like to be
it
slaves.
depends on the angle in which you maybe the challenge is not the
Challenge
word.
doesn't need to be
I
negative.
heard that.
Saying challenge is
No.
negative, but it's seen as a negative.
Right.
When-
So my basic thing is this. I think that what he's trying to say is a lot of people just like comfort, right? We've seen lack of ambition, especially if you get a person young. You want that person who, if you're going to be a helpmate to somebody, you want to be helping something. You feel me? Like, is he okay? You said you want to do this. Let's get it done. She's gonna be there to remind. Black woman will sit there and remind you what you said you're gonna do every day. And if you ain't doing it, she gonna be like, did we say we
Not
gonna?
like them. No, Latin women are worse.
Huh?
I think Latin women are worse.
Oh, which
They'll remind you.
no.
They will remind you verbatim what you said you was gonna do.
So, we are very big on, look, you said this, that's what I'm here for. Like, look, I'm about to push you, just a constant reminder. We're not gonna let you sit in that comfort, especially if that comfort is not comfortable.
Nagging.
That's what it is. It's nagging.
That's
That is
exactly what it
definitely
is.
And I don't want nobody nagging me. You can go the other way with that shit. You can encourage me, like, hey, do you still want to do this? Yeah. Well, what's going on? Do you got a plan? Okay. Well, we got a conversation about it, and I can set some bullet points, and then you could be like, hey, you got this coming up. Remember? Oh yeah, hold on, I'm gonna get to it. But you said like nagging is a real thing that irks my.
I can tell because nagging will bother me too. But I think that the difference, the conversation is men have never dated men, right? And so you're coming from the standpoint of who you are as a man, maybe who your friends are as a man, right? But there are a lot of men, and we can tell by we talk about this all the time, where we hit on the curve of economics, right? Where we are as far as how well we're doing in society, as productivity, as far as how much we make and all that kind of stuff. There are some men, not all, because some of you guys are absolutely fabulous, like great, but there are some men who are just, I'm chilling. I'd rather not have a 9 to 5. I'd rather be out here on the corner because at least I ain't got to clock in and clock out. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't want anything better than just the comfort of just not having the responsibility, basically.
Before HD goes, just a question to you ladies. In regards to the man that you're talking about, when y'all pick that person, do you have it in your mind that you're going to motivate him to do something different, that you're going to change him? I'm just asking.
No, so when women choose a man, right? Well, sometimes a woman will try. So she'll look at different qualities in a man, right? She'll say, okay, he's got this in him. That means he can be this, right? And I think that's important. That's something important. That's a quality women have to have. If we do this right, and we are designed to be mates, helping you means you're not there yet. We have to help you get there, right? So there are qualities we have to look into you to see that you're able to achieve whatever goal that you're trying to achieve. Now, the problem is when you got some fakers that look like they got it, and it's like, and then she got, like, he just hustled you, girl. Like, that was a lie. He didn't have all these things that you thought he had, it was a lie. So I think that women naturally will try to see different things a guy has, and they'll say, okay, does he have the pieces that can line him up to be what it is that he says he wants to be? And then you move forward with that person, because you're not supposed to be there at the finish line. You're not. That our whole point, if you go biblically, is to help you get there. Right? So you have to, he's going to start out as this person, but what women go wrong is they got to really dig deep and see, like, does he really hold what he says he has? Does he really have it? It's his walk. It's through his action, not through his words. Like, is he moving in that direction? Do you see the ambition in him? Is he doing things to get himself where he needs to be? And you can jump on board and help him where he needs to be helped to get him where he needs to be. But the problem is we think we see something and it was not what we thought we saw, or we was just not seeing it correctly.
Well, it seems sometimes that women want to mold a man into the vision that she sees him in, and not move according to the way he wants to move, and be a helpmate to him instead of being a mentor.
Sometimes men ain't honest about what they want. They come in with, think about it on a first date. They like to sound like, imagine going on the first day like, nah, I just want to get minimum wage for the rest of my life and just chill on the sofa, play video games. You think niggas showing up at, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. You think men showing up on dates to say that? Or you think they coming in like with this big dream of, trying to sell it to her like, nah, I got this, my goal is to be this, and this. And she like, okay, we about to do this. And to find out, nah, he just want to make minimum wage, play video games, chill on the sofa all day, and eat Cheetos. Like,
I miss video games.
Go ahead, Mark.
be honest, if men showed up and said that on a date, do you really think it's gonna get far?
What I don't think y'all listen that great. I think we say it. I think we say it in this way.
You don't say
Wait,
it.
hold
do
on.
It, though.
Hold on.
We don't pay
Hold
attention.
on.
You do it.
Hold on. One of the things that men say is, yeah, let's say I'm moving that way, and yeah, Shody, we just gonna see where things go. He just told you he don't have a fucking plan. He just told you by saying it that way that he doesn't have a plan.
But you gotta remember, usually this is happening to 22-year-old girls. They're not. So in hindsight, as an adult, we can be like, I can see through that BS. But take it from the lens of a 21-year-old, 22-year-old who hasn't been hustled like that. She hasn't gone through too many people hustling her brain. She's like, okay, she's probably a little bit more accepting. As an older person, you're like, bullshit. I'm not going for it. But as a kid, like as a young adult, you may get got.
That's a fair point, which takes me back to what I said about a year ago. Ladies, have these men vetted by your daddies or men in your family, and don't waste time when you figure out that guy ain't that guy. But anyway, I'm sorry, HD. I wasn't meaning to break into what you were about to say.
Oh, that's cool. I've learned how to be patient and listen. I would say he was wrong right out the gate. First and foremost, men ain't praying. That's the first thing. So he started up. He was on some BS from the start. He also mentioned that men don't know how to love. Actually, men are probably one of the most loving people once he understands and respects and cares for you. Let's think about this. Men will build relationships with other people simply off of one thing that he like about you. Oh, he just said, "What's up?" And so he said that one statement, and that was his guy from then on. Or this one lady looked out for him when he went to the store, right? And she was a cashier or whatnot. She looked out. Brothers are very loving and they're very caring and they love deeply. The thing is what happened is that a lot of men didn't understand women were different than their ideas of women. So then when they go in loving women the way that they think they should love women, and then women come out and be like, what are you doing? You can't talk to me this way, or you're not acting the way that you're not carrying me or treating me like a princess or like a queen. You're not doing this, you're not doing this. This is what real men do. Oh, you should be able to do this when I asked you. You should have learned me. You should have did this. You should have did that. What happens is that men come into the reality of women after they already had an idea of what women were, and then there was a clash. And so now he has to be like, teach me how to love, because his idea of what you were wasn't the reality of what you were. That's the reason why when men get on dates with women, they come in this relationship or the meetings with women coming a certain type of way. Well, I need to make sure I'm chivalrous. I need to make sure I'm respectful. I need to make sure that I pay. I need to make sure I do all of these things. Then brothers started finding out that even if I do all of the things, I still might not get the girl. So then some brothers turn to a-holes. Then some brothers been like, well, shoot, if women are looking out for themselves, why am I not looking out for myself as well? Or the brothers that was like, dang, this is a culture shock. You know, she wants me to be something that's fundamentally different than me. She wants me to be more compassionate in certain things that I'm not. She wants me to communicate differently when I've been very direct with the way that I speak and what I want and how I want it. But now I have to be more covert about how I go around it. Instead of just telling you how I honestly feel, I need to tell you in a way that's not going to make you feel hurt by what it is that I'm saying in the hopes
Valid,
that I can get to the thing that I want to.
I got a question.
valid,
One thing that you
valid
stated,
points.
yeah, but the only thing that I think that what women want, everything that you said correct. I think that the only thing is men do this for women. We need you to do it for yourself, right? It is so much more attractive. A man who wants to do it for himself, like it ain't got nothing to do. He just wants to be ambitious for it, whether I'm there or not. He gonna make it happen because that's who he is. I can only help him get, you know what I'm saying, be that piece that's help him get to where he is. The problem is when you're doing it for her. That's not authentic to you. You understand what I'm saying? Don't do it for a woman. Do it for you, and the woman will naturally gravitate towards that. And that's where the missing.
So,
Well,
so
what I
let me
was
ask you a
gonna
question,
say,
Shan. Why does he need to be ambitious?
I mean,
Why
I
does
guess
he
he
need to be
doesn't.
ambitious?
I
well,
guess
he
he.
needs to be ambitious for her. You know what I'm saying? Not every woman cares about that. But what I was gonna say, what I think is very important, is that your mate, regardless if you male,
Everyone I was
female,
with,
anybody you are with, it is their job to challenge you to be your better self. If nobody challenges you, and I know y'all are looking at the word challenge as something negative, but it doesn't have to be. I think there's a difference between challenging somebody in a negative way versus challenging somebody in a way that's going to promote growth and development. Your coach challenge you to do things that you may not see in yourself, but he sees the potential and will push you to do better, right? You don't like it, but it is going to make you a better player.
Are you inferior to your man, mistaken?
Am I inferior?
Mm-hmm.
Um, in some areas, yes, he's stronger in areas than I am. So yeah, I would say
I like how, for the sake of this argument, you accepted the word inferior, but you normally would have been like inferior. What? But okay, I'm gonna let it go then. I'm gonna let it go since you want to play this game. I'm gonna let it go, and I'm gonna remind you of you inferior to
I
him
said in some areas. Now,
when I get
me
a chance.
in
Don't worry about it.
like if you're talking about the whole male female thing, you know how I feel about that. No, I'm not inferior to him in terms
Oh,
of
so then challenge can be an issue if inferior is an issue.
how.
Because even scripture says that you are like the weaker vessel, not because of you don't have any value, that you aren't created to do great things, but
Meaning that I
there's a
need to be
reason.
taken care of. Absolutely. I do.
Yeah,
But on the flip side, it says that I'm his helpmate, which means that there's things that he can't do on his own that he would need me as well. So
The
that's
def
what I'm trying to say. Like I
the,
always have had said the same thing is a puzzle. There are going to be pieces out of him that are missing that he found me to fill and help build up, and vice versa. There's things that I was missing, and he's my puzzle piece that helped me fill and build up as well. I have to give him credit for the growth that I've had in certain areas in my life that only he could have challenged me with, and
let
vice versa.
oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So when people hear the word challenge, and a lot of times when you're challenged, is not necessarily easy, but it doesn't make it bad. And I think people get upset, especially when it is a woman, when you guys hear the word as a woman challenging a man, because y'all, I think y'all automatically take it as a negative, like, uh, can't no woman challenge me. But we're not talking about in that aspect. There are women who will challenge men in a negative aspect, but I think in the aspect that he was referring to was about self-development. Things like, a lot of times, I think I have said this before, like a lot of times your mate is your mirror, and a lot of things that you don't like in your mate are areas in which they're challenging you to build. So like if I um like with my husband not being patient, right? Let's say he's not a patient person. There's probably qualities in me that's going to challenge him to teach him patience. You know what I'm saying? There might be things about me that I am not, like, I don't know, organized. And there are going to be things about him that's going to challenge me to help me become more organized. So that's all I'm saying, is that a challenge does not have to mean a negative thing. If you see it negative, then you're going to take it as a negative. But if you see it as an opportunity for growth, then your partner's doing something right.
So
Well, I think that
what is,
that's and it depends on quote unquote how you challenge this person.
well,
If you
we know
know the
that.
person that you're dealing with, right? And sometimes I don't think women sometimes, just like women get upset about men's delivery to women when they're challenging them to do certain things that they don't want to do. Sometimes I don't think women hear themselves when they're or quote unquote trying to push or challenge them to do certain things. And that's the why sometimes men give that a visceral response to where they'll just look at you like you done lost your mind,
We well,
or
we
they won't do what it is that you're asking them to do, because like sometimes you got to understand like the inflection of your voice, the way that you look when you deliver certain things. Men, we respond to certain things naturally, just like you will respond to things naturally. Even if a guy is telling you something factual, if there's a word that you don't agree with in that statement, you're going to focus on that word instead of the message that was given, even if his tone was correct. So I think that it would better. I understand. I agree with your point as far as how challenging isn't always a negative thing. But I do think women need to be mindful, just like women want
how we
men to be
talk.
mindful about how you quote unquote consider the challenge. Because sometimes you're just saying the first thing that's on your mind, right? And you shouldn't be vilified for that. Same thing. Brothers just be saying the first thing like, "What the hell are you doing? Sit your ass down." He will say stuff like that in his mind, or he might say that out loud. Now, you might be okay with it because you respect him, you love him, and you know he don't mean no harm. But there's vice versa with women. Like if you'd be like, "What? Why would you do that? Why are we doing this?" When you get that kind of energy, when you're in the process of figuring stuff out in real time, because this is the reason why the whole leadership thing in relationships is really hard for me. Nobody that is in a relationship has ever had to deal with a marriage. And when you're in a marriage and you're developing your life as you change, this person has to learn how to make these adjustments as you change, just like as he's changing, right?
Mhm.
There's no blueprint for that. You can try to have tactics and tips and skills to be able to like wade the waters when you guys don't agree, or you can figure out a way how to communicate your feelings. But in actuality, there's no true blueprint to how that life is going to look like as you continue to build your life together, right? And then you even add, say for instance, everybody don't believe in the Bible, but even when you think about people's relationship with God, right? There's supposed to be a hierarchy to things. Like sometimes when we're even in our relationships with, our creator, right? In some people's mind, we talk to him as if we are on his level, that we can say some of the things that we're saying to him. And that trickles down to our relationships. And then we wonder why we keep having these discords with people, and that you're like, hey, men are like, women are challenging me, and women are like, he's not doing the things that I need. People aren't serving the fundamental relationships that actually would choose, that will actually make them grow in the right way. And that's why we keep having some of these issues, is that fundamentally you have to realize that y'all are not the same. We ain't got the same position, we ain't got the same purpose, and we ain't got the same responsibility. And sometimes when we're having these conversations, we talk to each other as if we're on the same level. In reality, we are not. And that's where the frustration comes in. That's why when that brother looks
Oh
at you
Lord,
like you ain't lost your
HD,
mind,
you ain't even run on sentences. I love you.
I'm done.
I love I love you. Keep going. I thought no, the reason I said that because I thought you were done, but then you because you like those pauses. Go ahead. No, I thought you were done. That's why I said that. Go ahead.
No, I would have went on a rant because there's a lot of deep diving I think about these relationships, as far as whether you believe in God, whether you don't, whether you're in a healthy or unhealthy relationship, whether it's a good man or a good woman. Like, I think about these relationships on many different levels, because I don't think a good or a good woman isn't just all the positive things about her. Same thing with a guy. When it comes to men, when we say a real man or a good man, we're only counting the things that's positive about him. We're not counting the things that is nasty and ugly about men. The men that you care about, they have some things in them that ain't pretty, but they're still good men. And they're able to protect and cover and love you for all the days of his life, right? But there are just things about men that aren't pretty that people discount as them not being good men, when in actuality they actually are. It's just that you only think about the positive things instead of the things in totality of that man.
HD, I think you cooked a little bit, but don't let Shan pick on you because Mistaken will sit on her commas also.
She will. And I tell mistaken that.
Listen, I do, but HD got me beat though. He does. He does.
I only have you beat when I wait a long time, because I waited, I listen for like, I will listen, I will be patient, but there are some times when I be hearing stuff and I'd be like, listen, I'm pissed, but I need to reel it back and actually figure out what I'm about to say, because I do go off on a tangent and I'd be forgetting where I'm at. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all.
But yeah, so I be forgetting too. I think that I think that the problem, because I wanted to address one of the comments. I think the problem is there's so many expectations out of for men, right? And unfortunately, we live in a country where economics matters, productivity matters. Those are things that men are looked at, how you're producing, how you show up for society, and how you show up for your home. When you're talking about a mate and we're saying how you show up for your home, well, we can't judge that if you don't have a home yet. If you're just taking care of yourself, we can't judge how you're going to be as a husband, right? So there are things that women look for. Okay, can you? So some women, I saw a video about Sylvester Stallone, and he said sometimes college just says you were able to finish something, like you completed something, right? They want to know. Sometimes it's more than just he's got money. It's like, okay, he can come. He knows how to. If he's the CEO of a company, he knows how to lead people. Or because they have nothing else to go by. If you can lead your life, maybe you can lead a family life. Because like I said, they have nothing else to go on. And sometimes they don't always go hand in hand, because sometimes you can be a great man at work and horrible at home. But I'm just giving you an idea of why women look for certain qualities or certain, things out of a man. And when it looks like at home, I know one of the guys, I forgot what the comment was because I took it down. But and he said men show up for their families every day. Some men don't. Some men don't have families at home. So it's just hard to be able to judge that. You know, what does that look like if you don't have people who live with you? You know, what is it that women should be looking for other than what you do every single day? Because you spend most of your time at work. What else is there to judge you on when I'm first meeting you? Oh, he's nice. Well, I hope everybody's nice. That is, you want to be nice. We know everybody's not nice, but most people, you know, give or take, are nice people. You don't have to love somebody to be nice to them, you know? So it's just like, what does a woman have to know that you're going to be a good man for this house, that you have leadership qualities? You ain't going to lead me down a dark alley and my whole family going astray. We got to hide from your ass later on. Just saying.
And also, HD, Shan is the queen of those ellipses, them 3 dots, and then she keep going. Just for the record, don't let them get you like that, bro. I'm listening. Go ahead, Marcus. I got my boy HD back tonight.
Listen, this is the difference between HD and Tara. Tara gonna tell us the same story. And she told, listen, I know how her husband met because she says it every episode. We know everything. It'd be the same story. Example.
He was riding a bike into his house.
That's not how
we
met.
coming with these examples that we've heard before. Every episode.
Did I tell you how me and my wife met before?
I don't know.
Me and her brother used to her brother was my homie, right? And her cousin was coming home from jail from a murder, and I went over there with him to get introduced to her. I met at the house.
Y'all got some crazy stories.
Well, that's great.
Okay,
I mean, I'm glad it worked out. That's great.
So we got another video. Let's get to it. Does anybody have anything to say about the last one?
I ain't saying nothing no more.
Just don't say the same story. Write down a story you've already told us, and just don't like this one. Let's not put that one on repeat.
Ooh, put it in a book and then send it to Hallmark, and then you can make some money.
Just listen. Okay, so I think that and it's so funny because this conversation went back real fast to last night, where people claim that every man ain't never had a woman that loved them. I call a lies on that, unless you're super young. That's lies. I don't believe it. Next one. Boom.
Hard to know what it looks like.
It's just hard to know what it looks like.
Ooh, girl, you loved him, didn't you?
And saying, "Yo, what do you bring to the table?"
Let me have this. Men, y'all probably really just don't know exactly what a woman brings. Get your pens and paper. Let's talk about the purpose of a table. I'm talking to you, love, with all the beautiful hair.
You said what they need a table for?
Right.
Like,
you sit down and eat at it, right? You have you gather at this table. Let's say I'm your woman, hypothetically. Everyone sitting at this table, either one came in me or came out of me. We can agree on that?
Yeah.
I'm the purpose for even having the table. Everybody at this table is nurtured, cared for, looked after by me. If I deem you worthy enough to even extend your legacy, which means give you children, consider that an honor and a privilege, because parts of me have to die to give you life. There are things in my body that will never be the same after bearing children for you. And you're telling me the least, at the very least, you don't want to take care of me?
Nah, I can't.
All right, cool.
It takes
All right.
Take two. Because without my, you know what I mean, without me, you know what I mean, it could be no family. A family is a family. Like, yeah, if you renting, you need 3 times the rent. It's a teamwork thing. Because if I lack of, you supposed to be able to, all right, well, here, this and that. If I'm struggling, all right, if I can't get it, all right, I'm going to need you to get that. It's nothing wrong with that. Like, so
it's something wrong with that, baby. It's something. In order for any family to sustain, there has to be balance. You're talking about this 50-50 stuff as if it really exists. If I have to get out of my bed to work 8 hours, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, which I do right now, and then I have to still come home and I still have to tend to the children. I have to take care of the home. I have to give you sex. I have to stroke your ego, and I have to restore you from all that you've been through throughout the day. What am I left with for myself? You would never be able to outwork a good woman. You should find a capable woman, but you do not want a working woman.
like
When the
that.
chips are down, yes, baby, I am capable of rolling up my sleeves and doing what we got to do to get back on our feet, with the notion that once you are stable, you are going to relieve me of that duty, because it is not my job. But if I got to get out of my bed and go work for a man, guess what I'm doing? Guess what I'm doing? I'm excuse my language, I'm fucking with two men, because I have to get out of my bed and go appease one at work, do what he tells me to do, follow his orders, get the whatever. And then you want me to come home and then appease you? Oh, and then take care of the kids? Oh, then cook and clean? Oh, then you want some sex?
Oh my God.
You want all that on me for the sake of making it easier on you? If I'm willing to roll back my sleeves and work two jobs, which I'm doing right now, what you think I'm expect you to do? You better be willing to work four. You better be willing to take off your shirt.
That's hard.
If I roll up a sleeve, you better be willing to take off your shirt for me.
She said a lot, didn't she?
It's been fun, guys. You guys have a nice night.
Yeah.
She went
All right.
lying, no. She went lying, no.
Yeah, good night. I don't even got the energy to address this lady. Bye-bye.
You know what's so funny? I don't want you to address the whole thing, because some of it goes into next week's conversation. I don't want you to address the kid thing. Don't address that. But I do want to address the good woman part, right? The good woman who is going to do everything that it is to make the household run smoothly.
I bet you she's single. Well, I bet you that lady's single.
Oh, I bet you she is as well.
Yeah, that's why she's working two jobs. And,
I was thinking the same thing.
and
HD.
the other crazy thing is she think this is the reason why so many women be like, well, if I gotta work, there's no reason for me to have a man. This makes so much sense why a lot of women respond this way, and why when the brothers be like, yo, like something is up, women, because she's getting money for being out from this man, she internalizes, this is my man. He has given me purpose. He is taking care of me. He is providing resources for me. So subconsciously, even though she's not having sex with this man, she's being provided for her. She's being provided for her needs because she's dealing with this entity or this employer that's taking care of her needs. Just like she would expect to be taken care of from her man, who takes care of all the bills and does all of the things. And she ain't got to work. She's like, well, sure, I could just take care of the house because, you take care of everything. So it makes so much sense what she's saying, why women respond. And that's another reason why men don't believe women when they say, hey, you just need to take care of yourself. If you get with them, you need to have, at least average income or a little bit above average. You don't need all the money, but this is the reason why brothers don't believe you, because you have so much value in what you receive from things that sometimes you give more credence to your job than you give to your man.
So the question, and actually I'm not a fan of this question, but the question of what do you bring to the table actually translates into how do you add value into my life?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what that translates into, right? Mm-hmm. And the statement that you would be the one bearing the kids, actually,
well, we don't want to talk about the kids right now.
No, I'm like, it'll all make sense. I'm not going to really dive into that.
Okay.
Actually, any woman that I would bring in would bear the children. So you're not standing apart from anybody. So again, what value do you add to my life? What can you do so that I'm going to provide you with the soft life you're asking for? Because that's what she's asking for, a soft life. She wants it easier than the way she has it. And she understands if times get tough, she might have to get back on the grind with the understanding that we're going to return back to me having a soft life. What comes with that soft life is responsibility. So, what value do you add to me that would entice me to offer you a soft life? And from what I heard from that woman just now, what I would have said if I was the light skinned brother with the poofy hair is continue on with your two jobs and your stank ass attitude and your jadedness towards men and enjoy that. Because what I'm offering you is you don't have to work. What I'm offering you is a stable home where you don't have to worry about the lights or the water or the gas or anything like that. What I'm offering you is that you don't have to worry about your car insurance anymore. What I'm offering you is the leisure time that you're asking for. What do you do to deserve that? And what I heard from her is she don't deserve shit. Loudmouth, long-winded ass. This is gonna cause nothing but problems in my life. It's always gonna be something new. The lights is on, but I don't have a mink coat. Bitch, I don't want to hear that.
When we think of challenge, we see her.
Right.
I'm gonna challenge you to be better. That's who that mascot is. Her right there.
That
Well, I
that
think
is
that.
that is a fact.
Oh,
So I think
I know she was over like the the way y'all were listening to her. I was also looking at him, reading him as well. And I'm gonna be honest, he comes off as me looking for a woman, like she said, that's going to take care of him and him not be
Soft
on his
ass.
grind. And
Oh, he
so
he looks soft.
yeah, and so for me, I kind of feel like that was where that response came from. Like, I'm not going to be willing to grind. I'm not going to be willing to do X, Y, and Z. You just go 50-50 with me, and that's it. And I can understand why she said what she said. Y'all may not have liked the way that she said it, and y'all know I'm big on is not what you say, is how you said it. But what she was saying made sense in regards to, like I said, him seeming like you said, he wanted to live the soft life. So that's what, yeah.
So this, oh, y'all know that teacher got fired. The Braden teacher, he got fired today. He got fired. I just saw it.
The
What
who?
did he get fired for?
Remember how last night we did a show? Sorry, this is such an intermission. He was braiding the little kid. The kids was taking the braids out of the hair. He did a post, and the kids wrote notes and stuff. He was reading notes. He was crying. And one thing about, we'll talk about that. Let's talk about that later. Just bring it back. But let's stay on this subject, and we'll talk about that after hours. But anyway,
Yeah, they ain't
anyhow,
gonna be nobody here after hours.
when get a HD when Eric
Oh, read the back chat, Shan, because we read the back chat real quick.
what's back
That's what
there?
he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah. I just saw it. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, y'all gotta go.
about.
Okay, well, so we can if you guys want to table this one, we can. If
I mean,
everybody's
it's your show. I mean, listen, if they
Y'all
go,
keep
if
going.
anybody here to
Me
talk about it, then shit.
You got HD
I
and Ham
mean,
Sandwich.
No, real. What
but
I wanted to say real fast, because we're gonna carry this over next week anyway about the baby conversation. And you're right, added value. Ham. The only
Ham.
problem is that I think oftentimes men forget that you also have to add value to her life. You understand? It's mutual. Both you guys have to have value in each other's lives, right? Or it's no point in being there. She wouldn't want you if you're not adding value. You wouldn't want her if you're not adding value. And so what this woman in particular, I do think her delivery, she's got that hard, boys mom delivery. I call them boys moms. But if something were to go down, I think that she's a chick that's gonna make sure, like, she gonna be there for you. And a lot of times men don't want that, but they do want it in a softer girl. And sometimes it don't. The softer girl will be like, I'm not about that life. Wrong chick. And then she dip. When actually you want an old girl who gonna be like, oh, what's going on? Like, let me get, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they at? You know what I'm saying? Like, he did what? Or you want me to go do this, and this? And the soft girls gonna be like,
If I was dating her, I would pull up to my house and sit in the driveway for an hour and a half. I would look at her when she talking
like
and zone out.
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't want to have sex with her. I definitely would be cheating if I was still a cheater. Like that lady is just, she irked me.
I think she made some good points. I just think that it just the way it came off, like the delivery, and I think Chic mentioned this earlier. Sometimes you can get the point across. It's just that your delivery is a little bad. Was it could have, it could have been saved a little bit. Like it needed a little bit of work.
Yeah, she immediately repelled every man that could have been interested in her, and far and wide.
In that clip, I will. This is where I'm going to give her grace. In that clip, she made mention to a light skinned puffy hair talking about 50-50. And in a 50-50, I would actually argue that she's probably more right than wrong. But that, again, is why I don't necessarily agree with 50-50. You're going to come to my table. This shit is already ready to rock and roll.
But
what are you bringing to my table?
Yeah. But some people, so I think of it, I'm going to say this real fast. Some people look at it real different. We're an older generation, right? So we've got it together. If I met a guy today, I don't mind going 50-50 with him because there's really nothing else that, I'm not really tackling anything different than he's tackling because we're not going to have children together. We're in a different stage in our life, right? It's going to look a little bit different. Now, if we're in a situation where there's two young people, obviously you have to go in together because he doesn't have what he needs to get to that point. Now, if you're getting to the point where he's getting like in the 30s and things is popping off and y'all start to have family, then you look at it totally different. Then you look at it at other, because then it's going to be uneven if she has to come home. She's not like Marky Mark, who is very, active with the kids. She has to come home, deal with way more. You're going to look at every situation different depending on where you are in life. Would you not agree with that?
I can agree with most of that. But I know I can't listen to you and be limp like that. Like she ain't stiffening up nothing. Like, ma'am, calm your ass down. But I guess we can table it for till next week.
Yeah, we're gonna table it because we got some people who tats. They tired.
Oh no, they're not tired. They just getting started.
Oh, but real fast, y'all. He got fired, and he reading like notes that his kids had wrote him. Let me just tell you this: education is very forgiving. He will get a job again, but he's got to know that he can't go to the next school doing that same behavior. They're going to give him another job, maybe not in that school system, but he'll get another job because he did nothing that's going to be like, ooh, he can't bounce back from. But
why did he get fired?
Probably the biggest thing is
social media.
And another thing, probably them kids' parents probably complained. He probably didn't get the okay like he claimed he got. And then the school system don't back it unless it's bell to bell. I don't know not one school system that allows taking hair out during instructional time. Not one. You can say they okay with it, but they not. No. I've never heard that.
Do you think he should have been fired?
I think he should have been talked to. Fired. I think that they see,
unless there was some other things going on that we don't know about.
like parents got
He was
involved.
already probably not teaching, I'm assuming, I don't know, that he probably, if he was already in a class and that happened, you have to be comfortable. So I'm quite sure not that per se, but some things in his classroom was probably very lax. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that there were probably other things. Just, yeah.
The only thing that will cause a big fire like that without any other documentation is if those parents really did not know and you overstepped your boundary by having a kid you posted online without parent permission. That would probably be immediate termination, because that's a problem. Like, that's a liability. If a parent complains and says, you posted my kid, now my kid is viral, and you did not give my child permission to do that, that erases everything. And that's top priority. Like, the kids, safety is top priority. And that's what they would consider being unsafe and, being unsafe. Other than that, I feel like being taught, like, no, we don't. And then the fact that you said that we do accept it, that made the whole school system look bad. Like, if you said my administration is okay with it, my school system's okay with it, well, what? That's why I was like, what school is this? That they're okay with you taking out hair during instructional time. You can play fun games with kids and still get the, have it be fun. Maybe it's not like reading a book or doing a lecture, throwing, going over turns, but in a fun type of way, for fun time, for instruction time. I never heard of taking hair out of as that being instruction time. This would a little bit looked at totally different. Had he said this is an after school program, we just waiting for rides, or if he said this is homeroom, there ain't really nothing going on. But he was like, this is science class, science of all classes. That's bad. That's like math, science, like them the subjects you ain't trying to play in. Like, come on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But anyway, he'll be fine. He'll get another job. Talk to you later.
Good night.
Remember, it's my birthday. Thank you, HG, for my cash. I saw that earlier. I can look at it since. But thank you, everybody out there. Drink tomorrow for me for my birthday. Good night. Night time. Night.